LSU. Boom!
All night long. Yes.
Let's freaking go. LSU versus Mississippi State. Get up, Tiger Nation. It is an early 11 a.m. kickoff. I want to give you my favorite play for this game. I actually do think the over, I'm not sure if this is going to be like the most highest scoring game, but I do think at some point these offenses are going to put up points. Obviously, the biggest storyline going into this game for LSU, outside of course, some macro things, playing on the road, playing an 11 a.m. game, is what is the health of two really key players. Starting off here with Mason Taylor, who really is LSU's only experienced tight end. According to Michael Cobble and others that are there, Mason Taylor is dressed out. Now, how available is he going into this game? That's up in the air. But right now, Mason Taylor, it looks as if he is going to dress out, and I am not so sure if it's going to play. I'm not too sure if he's going to play, and as of right now, Cobble says the weather looks to be pretty good. It does look like there are some clouds out here, but I would guess everything should be pretty good from a weather standpoint if you are an LSU fan. So obviously, I would guess at this point, Omar Speights is out for today's game, and we shall see how that affects the rest of the game. But that's not me reporting it. I just think, just judging on how Brian Kelly talked about it and the fact that Omar Speights was out of his pads by halftime, it kind of lets you know that he probably isn't going to play. How big of a deal is that versus Mississippi State? We'll see. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise because at this point, the LSU defense hasn't been playing with a whole lot of bite. We say hi to Haley. Who is that? How am I in that photo? I have no idea. That's some good Photoshop. What's up, Zach? Good to see you. Miles says LSU is going to lose today. That's according to Miles Bennon. Very interesting name. I don't know if this is Mississippi native, former LSU quarterback Miles Brennan. He says this team has no fight, no identity, no sense of urgency. Let's go to Rome, our first super chat of the evening. I say the evening. I'm used to saying that. Of this glorious morning. If we speed up the game, does that favor us or them? So what makes this very, very interesting, Rome, is this is the first matchup in years where when it comes to pace of play, we are way ahead of them, right? So far up to this point in college football, when it comes to plays per minute, according to 247 Sports, LSU is 14th in plays per minute. Mississippi State is 87th. So at this point, LSU has been the team that has played faster, and Mississippi State has played with a more traditional pre-2019 LSU style. Not really an explosive throwing offense, but a team that likes to run the football. So, yeah, I got to be real, man. I got to be real. I think LSU is going to speed things up, and I also think Mississippi State is going to go at a faster pace. I actually just like the over. I really do. I've changed my tune on this just a little bit. There are some good defensive matchups for both sides of the ball. We did a whole Harold Perkins film study earlier this week, and I think a lot of you enjoyed it on how he tore up the Mississippi State offensive linemen that are returning for this game. And I will also say this. Mekhi Wingo and Mason Smith have a really good matchup up the middle. Yeah, they're going up against experienced players in Mississippi State's offensive line. Sometimes experience isn't a good thing, right? Sometimes you are just there because, well, you are there. They need somebody. So, returning players all the time is not the best. And I think the side of the offensive line for Mississippi State that could give them issues is the left. Left guard Nick Jones, left tackle Dollar Bill Johnson. They had some issues versus Arizona, and they had a lot of issues last year versus LSU. Let's keep it going. Does LSU cover the spread? I'm not going to go that far. I do think this game is going to be like a 31-28 kind of game. Okay? Something like that. Do I know if Lance Hurd is going to start or not? Okay. So if Brian Kelly is a man of his word, at the LSU radio show, he reported that, well, Miles Frazier is going to start. And if Miles Frazier is starting, that means Lance Hurd is not starting. Brian Kelly also did mention that he loves the athleticism Emory Jones gives them at guard. Okay, so really enjoying that. I think for me, I think Emory Jones is going to have a wonderful career at LSU, whether it's at right tackle or at right guard, but I think he's better at guard. So I think that has as much to do with anything, getting more athleticism at guard and than it has like actually playing Lance Hurd, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's keep it going here with Logan. Logan, good to see you. Everybody, welcome. Logan, I think I've seen you in here before. Beautiful picturesque Tiger Stadium. I'm guessing this is the Tennessee game from last year or the Ole Miss game. Excited to see the Weeks brothers in the rotation this game. Yeah, I think both will get a shot to play. I think West will play before Witt. I don't know either of them personally. I think one of them follows me on social media. I actually think Witt is better right now as a true freshman. I really liked Witt coming out. West has been a very good special teamer and a solid, but not like someone I would consider great SEC linebacker at this point. But both of them are going to get their chance to play. Okay, so there we go. We're going to get to as many questions as we possibly can, and then we'll get into a little bit of a deeper breakdown here. All Bruce wants to see is their defense have a knockout, drag-out type of game. Look, Bruce, they've got a chance to string together some good defensive performances before they have to play Ole Miss in Oxford, which obviously we know Ole Miss has a great offense. These next 2 weeks, the skill guys are going up against would-be skill guys that LSU's defenses from yesteryear would be able to stop. And that's even if the LSU teams from yesteryear, the 2016s, the 2013s, all those great defenses, even if the offensive rule changes were the way that they were then, they would still be able to stop these skill guys, even if the pass rush wasn't the absolute best. So if they are burning us on the outside, now these receivers from Mississippi State, they're not slouches, but they're just not as good as they have been in the past. If they burn us, we're in a lot of trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. So we follow up here. If it's a 31-28 type of game, we're going to come out with more questions and answers. Yeah, CMK, I would love to see a game where LSU just dominates somebody. Like we've mentioned that plenty of times on here. Championship teams show you something on the road every now and then. And up to this point, we have put together one truly great road performance under Brian Kelly. The rest have been not so great. And we have got to be better away from Tiger Stadium. We just do. So, yeah, let's see. We need to give Alexander help in coverage. to me is getting beat too many times. I'm not so sure if it's him I'm worried about. At this point, and I know that this sounds like terrible, but everybody's been bad. I mean, it just is. There really hasn't been a member of the secondary that you could point to and say, "Well, this guy's been good." Andre Sam could potentially be that guy, maybe Greg Brooks, but we just got to play better everywhere, everywhere. And I know I could get into a super technical breakdown, but it just comes down to what anybody could see: make plays, make plays. Greg just says, "I just want to win." Come on, Miles, don't be sharing just stupid injury reports that aren't good. No, just don't do that. It's just not that'll get you because when you do that kind of stuff, then I get my messages filled with why is that dude saying this? That's why you always got to be careful with the injury reports. That's why I led the thing with Mason Taylor being dressed out. So, like, if you know that, send me a credible link with a report saying that, because obviously that is that's heartbreaking if that is the case. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, he's not out for the season, but Greg Brooks is out for the game. Okay, this just came out right when I went live. So there we go. Now I really do like the over. I'm crazy. Absolutely crazy. Did not see it. Oh wow. I would go get on the over. I really thought you were just trolling. Greg Brooks out against Mississippi State, and he's a team captain. Omar Spates is out. It's getting crazy, y'all. I swear, I had nothing on Greg Brooks. I'm not joshing you. Oh man, that is absolutely insane. I mean, abso-freaking-lutely insane. How do I adjust? How would I adjust? Let's go to Danny. There's a post on Twitter yesterday. So it was something family related. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. How do I adjust? What would I do in the secondary? Well, for one, I would say I think the easiest thing would be to move Andre Sam to safety. Obviously, you got to play Major Burns, even though a lot of you don't want him to play. And then the nickel would probably be Sage Ryan. And then your outside corners would stay Zy Alexander and Deuce Chestnut. Last year when they had safeties banged up, they would move a starting corner to safety. But yeah, that's absolutely crazy. So that's what I would do. I would also, I guess now it's going to make Matt House want to play more too high. So, yeah, absolutely crazy. And it is tough, Greg. It is tough. Let's go to Kedrick. says, I don't think we miss a beat. Brooks isn't wowing me. Let's see what the freshman got. Well, there's only one freshman safety. Kylan Jackson's not been dressing out. And yeah, that's absolutely crazy. I would definitely, and I mean definitely, I don't know about this, Kendrick. I really don't. I guess go to Toviano and say, hey, if you're ready, this is your chance. Move Toviano to nickel. So yeah. Now I do agree with Kendrick. Like Greg Brooks hasn't been amazing. Very good to see you. Yeah, a little height. I'm not going to speculate on what's going on with Greg Brooks. I swear, I normally go through everything, and I did not see anything on that. I promise you, I had not heard that from anybody. Truly floored. But as of right now, obviously it is next man up, and I'm not so sure if it's just passing the football. It's tackling. There's a lot of different things you can do, but if there ever was a game for your defensive line to go off, it would be this one. Let's keep it going. Denver bands. Obviously, Denver's going to get his opportunity to play a lot today. So maybe Denver Harris starts, and you potentially could move Chestnut to safety, or Alexander to safety. You can do a lot of different things. Okay. Yeah, it's a mess right now. It's a mess. Now, next thing. What would you like to know about Will Rogers? I will tell you this. People pile on Jaden for being a dink and dunk quarterback and his ADOT not being high enough. But Will Rogers does not throw deep. He just doesn't. His one deep touchdown last week was the byproduct of purely play design. It was a fake screen, everybody bit, and he had not one but two receivers he could have thrown to for a walk-in touchdown. He's not a deep thrower. And that throw was like 35 yards or something like that. His ADOT last week was only 5.2, which means his average depth of target was 5.2 yards down the field. So they don't like to throw deep. They don't. Next thing. Omar Speights is out. So we've already talked linebackers. But take a look at how different the LSU defense already is from week 1 to right now. And they haven't been good. So maybe this drastic change is for the better. The next thing I would do if I'm Matt House is switch up a lot of different things if you're starting to get beat, right? One of the best things you can do as a defensive coordinator is show the opposing offense nothing that they had seen on film up to that point. Nothing. And it works. It just does. Now, it's not just that simple, but you look at some of the best offenses of all time. What a lot of teams did to them was show them something that they had not seen yet up to that point in the season. Not only what they haven't seen like defensively, but something that they haven't seen on your film. So if I'm Matt House, I'm diving deep into the bag and just throwing a bunch of different things their way. Kedrick just wants better tackling. Max is worried about the FCS transfer thing. Yeah, it has mostly not been good, the FCS transfer route. And that just kind of lets you know what the state of LSU's defensive back recruiting has been. It's been awful. The development, I have a few theories as to why, but I won't get into that because we are 25 minutes away from kickoff. I do think it's a mixture of recruiting. I also think it just totally ruins your development, what Ed Orgeron did the last couple of years with the defense, running man coverage on every snap. It will ruin any DB's growth. And if you look at all those defensive backs that LSU had in that 2020 and 2021, period, almost all of them, when they left LSU and transferred somewhere else, it wasn't just that they transferred to another Power 5 school. They transferred and not even play DB anymore. They transferred to FCS schools. They transferred to Towson. They transferred to Campbell. These are schools that they went to. So I think that's some of it. But honestly, it's just a huge string of bad luck. I think it's just the football gods punishing us for having such deep defensive backfields for so long. And they're like, well, it's been a little unfair for you LSU folks. And we're just going to switch things around. Now, let's talk about the LSU offense going up against this Mississippi State defense. The one thing about why I think the LSU offense is going to have a good day. Do I worry about the road thing? Yes. Do I worry about the 11 a.m. thing? Yes, because the LSU offense arguably had their two worst days in the two 11 a.m. games last year. And they definitely had their worst games on the road. Does that worry me? Yes. LSU had to take a 1-hour bus trip this morning to get to Starkville. So, yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, man, I hope the LSU offense doesn't lay a stinker. Do we see Garrett Nussmeier today if Jaden Daniels struggles? I doubt it. I think this is going to be a Jaden 4-quarter game. I really do. I do think, though, with everything that is going wrong with the defense, and this is an offense that has been good. The LSU offense has been good. Grambling, they scored on every possession. Yes, it's Grambling. Yes, they were undisciplined. Yes, they were dirty. Yes, they committed a lot of penalties. But it's still something to score on every single possession. Florida State in the first half of that game, outside of red zone execution, they were really good. In the second half of the game, if you just catch the football, you're still really good. This LSU offense is very good. Analytics-wise, all those things. Now, obviously in last week's film study, we talked a lot about some of the deep shots that Jaden missed. We still got to play better. There's still some things that could get cleaned up. But the sign that you have a really good quarterback, and I mean a championship-winning quarterback, is one who can overcome all these things that happen to your team. All right. And I think this could be the game where Jaden plays so well that it doesn't matter if Greg Brooks is out. It doesn't matter if Omar Spates is out. It doesn't matter if Mason Taylor is out. If your quarterback is prolific enough to overcome it. And great quarterbacks do that. Right? Great quarterbacks are able to, especially if they have all of their primary receivers, even though you don't have your primary tight end potentially today, even if you don't have all those weapons, you still find a way to get it done. And this is a time Jaden really needs to get us through it. Because last year, for the most part, we had really good injury luck. And we had one or two things not go our way. when it comes to the injury bug. But for the most part, we're pretty good in that. And so far this year, it's not been that way, as you guys could see. So this could be the game that we need Jaden to be really freaking good. And what's interesting about this matchup versus Mississippi State is it does let itself, I didn't say that smoothly at all. It does open up an opportunity for Jaden in this game. What does Mississippi State like to do? They like to get exotic with their blitz packages. They get out of their rush lanes to create pressure. What is Jaden good at? When you get out of your rush lanes, he kills you with his legs. Jaden DeLaura, who is a dual threat quarterback out of the Pac-12, is a really good runner. He's not a Jaden runner. He had a lot of rush lanes to run through, and he took advantage of it last week. That's really good. And ultimately, that is kind of sort of what decided the game last year versus Mississippi State. So it's a very good Jaden matchup. Also, Mississippi State's secondary is very experienced, but they do not have Emmanuel Forbes, who was one of the best SEC corners I've ever seen. He really was that good. He's no longer there. We have matchup advantages on the outside. Now, Mississippi State's linebacking core in the middle of the defense is good. Pickering is a really good defensive tackle, number 22. Johnson and Watson are really good linebacker core, number 44, Jet Johnson, and number 14, Nathaniel Watson. Really good players. Marcus Banks, their safety, number 1. Really good safety. Alabama transfer. Former elite top 100 recruit. I still think this could be a big Jaden game. I do. That's why, I took the over. Let's see. Here says, I'm genuinely sick of the calls for Nussmeier to play. Flat out, the kid wasn't good enough to overtake Jaden for first-team reps. He'd be out there. I'd also say Jaden did outplay him in off-season scrimmages and practices for the most part. So, this from somebody in the stadium. Sage will start at nickel, all right? More than likely. No, and normally, and maybe I'm not able to see it, the beat reporters will tweet out who's running with which units. But right now, I'm not seeing that. But here is somebody with some information here who is at the game. It looks like Sage Ryan will, like we said, like I said a minute ago, will start at nickel. Toviano is backup safety. Yates is a backup safety. That's 2 true freshmen. Ryan Robinson, a walk-on, is at nickel as well. And yeah, there you go. LD88 said he's watching Jaden Daniels warm up right now. That's true. And I think that's why this is a Jaden game for a lot of different reasons. The first is Mississippi State won last week's game because of one reason: turnovers, right? I know that is so cliche. Whoever commits the fewest turnovers wins the game. Okay? That's not necessarily true. Okay? It's just not. We were the best turnover defense in 2020. We had the worst defense in LSU history in 2020. So turnovers sometimes is overrated in a way. But last week, Mississippi State won the game because of turnovers. They had 5 turnovers, Arizona. Mississippi State had 1. And Mississippi State still barely won, right? They didn't play well. It was more because of Arizona losing. So we don't want to do the same thing. We don't just want to gift Mississippi State the game. So that would be another reason why this is a Jaden game. All right, so this is why I need y'all to change your photo. I'm thinking Max is Miles. See, it's the same avatar. I need to see y'all's beautiful faces. Go to Trey. I think we see a lot of newer guys step up and flash today, particularly on defense. Oh, so Billy. Well said. Colorado lives by the bubble screen. Yeah, one guy that doesn't get enough credit for Colorado is Sean Lewis, their offensive coordinator. Really, really bright guy. Yeah, Cole, it's not really nickel, but he is playing the nickel, if that makes sense, right? I don't want the defensive coaches and the defensive film guys to come after me. Well, he's a linebacker just playing in a base 4-3, but you are right. It's easier just to say he's just playing the nickel. Okay. Michael B goes full Facebook. If you go on any LSU Facebook group, you see so many people just posting, hey, what time is the game today? And what channel is it on? I'm guessing, I just watch on the ESPN app. I'm guessing it's, since this is such a LSU, a big brand, I would guess it's on ESPN. I wouldn't guess this is on SEC Network. But yeah. Absolutely crazy. The photo here, John Emery. They have really been putting John Emery out there. So yeah, I mean, Brian Kelly's been very supportive of John Emery. He is back, ready to go. So he might be there. Well, he will be there. The game is on ESPN. What's up, Miles? It is crazy though. Like, the one thing you can't prepare for as a coach is when these things kind of happen, right? With Greg Brooks. I don't know exactly what happened. I honestly didn't. I didn't know before this live stream. I was just like a lot of you. And the report came out after I went live. I just missed it. I guess there was apparently a Twitter post or something like that. But yeah, these things pop up, whatever it may be. And last year, we did not do a good job dealing with like players just being suddenly out, right? Last year when Will Campbell wasn't available because of what happened to him before the Tennessee game, we just did not adjust. We were not ready. We just couldn't overcome it. And that's why you need your stars to play like stars. I've got to be real here. I want to see a lot of Caleb Jackson today. I know John Emery's back, but I would like to see a lot of Caleb Jackson today. And I am just putting this out into the world. All right. And please forgive me for putting out these types of positive vibes. But Caleb Jackson is returning a kickoff for a touchdown today. He was so close last week. He had a lot. He has a lot of juice in the tank. Let's see it. Let's see it. I got a text here this morning. Carter, how did you expect to compete with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Do you smell what Brian Kelly is cooking? Let's go. I can't do the eyebrow thing. I tried. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to tell you this right now. If John Emery plays today and he goes off, I'm going to be a very happy camper. But if the opposite happens and he drops a ball or he fumbles, I don't want anything to do with any one of y'all. Because everybody's saying the same thing. Hold on to the ball, John. Catch it, Kyron. I wonder how much Chris Hilton we see today after a really good game last week. I felt Jaden missed Chris on a few other passes too. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It's a good one. Let's see. We'll get a few more in here. I'm going to pull up the ESPN app. We normally do the first drive. So, yeah, get as many questions as you can here, and I'm going to answer them the best I absolutely positively can. Yeah, hit the like button. It goes a long way. Now, something else you can do. Let's see. While you guys are here, please go hit the like button and set reminder button on the halftime live stream. So we'll do pregame, halftime, and we'll do postgame right after the game ends. Okay. Who's starting at corner? I think it's still going to be Alexander and Chestnut, but I could see Denver starting again. I doubt Stamps starts today. And it says, I'm at work. I could only watch snippets of the game. No, Ellie, thank you guys for watching. I've touched on everything I want to touch on. Once again, I'm going to go through what I like about this game. I think Mississippi State covers. I think this will be a semi-higher scoring game. Obviously, Mississippi State doesn't play at the same pace that they used to. I do think there's a piece of me that likes the over more. I've already played the over this morning. There's a piece of me that likes the over. Obviously, the Florida State game, I said go take the over, and the over hit very easy. Obviously, there's not an offense in this game as good as Florida State's. I think both of these offenses are different than their offenses last year when they played each other. But I do think both of these offenses have an easier defense to face today. I also think there could be a piece of Brian Kelly that says, look, my defense isn't good. Two of the more experienced guys aren't available today. Maybe he should run the football and bleed a full 40 and let the clock run out on every offensive snap. I would not like that strategy because Jaden does play better when the game is moving faster. So yeah. Now, I think it'd be crazy, Amacat, for them to not, number one, spread it out and just run your offense with LSU's defense spread out. Grambling and Florida State had their success when they spread LSU out. So if Mississippi State decides to show run and they actually do run the football, that helps us in a major way. But if they spread us out, I think even though their offense is very flawed, even though I think Will Rogers is not the best, and also I think their offensive line, our defensive line could eat. Their offensive line has had issues. I think we'll be fine. I really do. On the offensive side of the football, but defensively, man, we've got issues. We've got issues. Corso just picked Mississippi State. Good. Corso went 4-5. I see you guys are cheating on me when it comes to pregame shows. I'm trying to be the next freaking Kirk Herbstreit. Who cares if Dwayne The Rock Johnson is doing the guest picks? Mm. Now, as far as the rest of the SEC is concerned, I actually do like Florida winning today. I think Florida wins at home versus Tennessee. I am not sold on Joe Milton at all. But one thing, I'm going to go through all the key things that you need to know if you're just now joining us. Omar Spates out. Greg Brooks out. Mason Taylor game time decision. All right. Then, obviously, outside of that, I want to share with you the key players to look out for Mississippi State. Obviously, Will Rogers, number 2. Their best players are the ones with single digits on offense, right? Number 7, Jaquavius Woody Marks, their running back. Their wide receiver is Tutu Griffin, Latarius Tutu Griffin, number 5. It's their best receiver probably. And Jaden Wally, number 11. Now, one thing that should be very interesting today is Mississippi State's return guy. Their special teams is very shaky. They have a true freshman kicker, and they have some punters who did not punt the football well at all last week. But they do have a return guy from Louisiana by the name of Xavion Thomas. He wears number 1. Okay. Xavier Thomas and Aaron Anderson are both from Louisiana. They both went out of state. LSU didn't really recruit Xavier Thomas, and LSU did recruit Aaron Anderson, but he picked Alabama. Both of them entered the transfer portal last year, and obviously LSU went after they went after Aaron Anderson, and Xavier Thomas was also there. And I don't know if Xavier Thomas was trying to go to LSU, but eventually he decided to stick with Mississippi State, and we picked up Aaron Anderson. And Xavier Thomas is really good. He's a really good return guy. He had a good return last week versus Arizona. He had 2 good returns versus us last year, and he had a punt return touchdown versus Georgia last year. He also muffed one versus Alabama. I don't know Aaron Anderson's status. I don't know if he's going to be back at punt return. I would guess it's going to be Gregory Clayton. So, yeah, should be very interesting. Now, special teams wise for us, knock on wood, we have been very good on special teams this year. Very, very, very good. So I'm very excited about our return game with Caleb Jackson as a kick returner. And there's a piece of me that kind of wants him to be the punt returner too. And then obviously Mississippi State defensively. Let me run through the people that you really need to know on their defense. Number 22, Pickering. Really good defensive tackle. Really good DT. Think Benny Logan, right? Just a really solid experienced player. All right. At linebacker, that's probably the strongest unit on their team. Jet Johnson, number 44, and number 14, Nathaniel Watson. And then at DB, number 3, I think it's from Louisiana. His name slips my mind. He's a corner. And then number 1, Marcus Banks, is a really good safety for them. Those are the guys you got to look out for. All right. Now, for some potential weaknesses for Mississippi State, I think their offensive line can be had. I think, they could not block Harold Perkins and B.J. Ojolari last year. They just couldn't. Wingo had some good plays in that game too. That offensive line really struggled last week versus Arizona. Now think about this, all right? Arizona, their defense featured a defensive line in Paris Shand, all right? He transferred from Arizona to here, and he is barely in our rotation. Barely. Okay? So think about that. He was the starter last year for them. And now he can barely play here. So I know it's not quite transitive property here. That should mean the LSU defense should have a good day, right? If a guy who started on Arizona's defensive line, left their defensive line, went to a new team, and is at best on the second tier of the 2 deep, and that same defensive line for Arizona had a really good day versus Mississippi State, you would think LSU's defensive line is going to have a good day today. They should. Okay, Mississippi State won the toss. They have elected to receive. First big break for us. Now, type Y for yes, type N for no. Do you want me to do the first drive? Do you want me to commentate on the first drive of the game? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I don't mind doing the first drive. I know it's early. need some energy? Let's do it. Let's go. Come on, Jaden. Let's cook. They're going to get the football first. Imagine winning the toss and receiving. Couldn't be me. Huh? Okay, looks like LaTerrence Welsh. He's had some struggles on special teams. Here they are stretching. Think about could you believe that? They stretched at a car dealership. That's crazy. Oh, we got Tess on the call for an 11 a.m.? Oh, we're cooking. You got me on the first drive. You get Joe Tess the rest of the way. That's good stuff. Okay, touchback. Good job, Dybert. I'm so excited for this game. As someone who grew up, obviously watching LSU football, with Texas and Oklahoma joining, you're not going to get these matchups every year anymore. All right, you're just not. All right, so there you go. Braden Swinson getting the start today over Ovia Gufu. Okay. Whit Weeks getting the start. Nice play on first down for them. And they're playing pitch and catch to start. Okay. Let's see, is Harold Perkins on the field? He is. He is in at nickel or as the outside linebacker and run counter to the left. Good Phil Weeks. Let's go. Whit Weeks. Good play, buddy. All right. Good play. Good play. Like I said, dude, their offensive line is not what you'd expect it to be. Good play by Harold Perkins to start this game. Now it's 3rd and 10. Now you want Perk coming off the edge here. Come on, Sage. Good play, D. Let's go. Oh, Perk? No, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, it's going to give him a first down. Oh, no. Why do that? Why would you headbutt a guy? Okay, offset. Offset. Punt the damn ball. Let's go. Oh, no, they headbutted him first. Catch it. Good.
Around the 17-yard line. Jaden Daniels, of course, the second-year starter at LSU. So much hype was built into this.
All right, we'll do the first offensive drive here.
All SEC by the media and the coaches.
Yeah, Joe, he's one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the country. That's why he's in the Heisman discussion.
Let's go, JD. Let's cook. Chris Hilton gets the start in the slot. Aaron Anderson also out there. Mark Way out there and tight end. Okay. They're playing off of us. Oh, God, penalty. And it would have been an easy completion on first down. Gotta have the guys ready to go, man. How much of that is on QB? How much of that is just on offense? Just getting your set and let's go. We're actually running the same play, it looks like. No. A zone read pull. Good. Pick the yards up. Good play on first right there. We'll take it. Let's see. Was that it? Let me see a replay if that was a good pull read or not. It looks like it was. Yeah, Samuel, they just pay the fines every week. Okay. Good. Good. Good offense, Jaden. Once again, we did a film study on this earlier this week. Take the check downs if it's there. Their linebackers like to sink. They like to sink back. Third and 2. You got the slant to there you go. All right, rolls out to the right. Once again, just buy time. Something should open up. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Go. Let's go. If they're going to sink back and not rush Jaden, just sit back there until something opens up. That's all you got to do, man. Good stuff, Jaden. We'll take it. It was 50-50. That was 50-50. Could it have been fit in there, Max? Yeah. Good pull read again. Go. Oh, they're gonna bring it back. They're gonna call holding somewhere. Man, it would have had no effect on the play either on a zone read pull. Okay. Face mask? Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's freaking go. Oh, man. Good call, Ump. Good call, Ump. Kyron Lacey in the game. No BTJ early. He's right there. John Emery in the game. Okay. Bad blocking. Come on, Chris. If you're going to play, you got to be able to block. Come on, Chris. You got to have a better block right there. I love the play call, though, getting them going left to right. Lost 3 yards there. All right. Sit back there. Sit back there. There you go. Man. If they're going to bring a 3-man rush, just sit back there. I'm serious. Make them come tackle you. You don't have to take the immediate check down if you don't want it. All right, 3rd and 8. Obviously, 35-yard line. So here, LSU has run the football a lot in the past. Well, they're not running here just by Josh's alignment. It doesn't look like this would be a run. All right, they brought everybody. Good stuff, Jaden. God, that was really good. God, that's some really good quarterbacking right there. So 4th down, you obviously got to go for this. God, this is just excellent stuff, man. And you see what makes this really good is we pretty much ran almost everything past the sticks right there. No, call timeout, call timeout, call timeout, call timeout, 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 timeout. Call it, please. Okay, all right. Oh, man. Oh, God. Once you see a true freshman running onto the field late, it's just call a timeout. Call a timeout. Now in the second half, you wouldn't like to call a timeout in that spot, but you would probably need to. I'm very anti calling timeouts early in the half. Timeout should only be used as time-saving mechanisms. But if it's 4th and short or like 4th and goal from the 1, and you see like all kinds of substitutions chaos, you've got to call a timeout. Oh, yeah. Jaden's playing really well at this point. Absolutely big time. Mm. Hmm. And welcome to the channel. Good to see you. Man, I miss doing play-by-play. I really do. I'm no Joe Testor. All right, 4th and short. Please don't do that. Rotate the wide receiver in and tighten the formation where everybody can just kind of knife it. Oh, it's 4th and 2. They did not give Malik a good spot here. All right, it looks like they're bringing it. Let's see. Malik, let's go. There we go. Good play call. If you tighten everybody in, run to the outside, God, that's some excellent stuff. Good block, Chris. Good block, Chris. Here we go. Good offense. That's a good tackle by 2 as well. I'm telling you, man. Just keep it going. Now, this is where LSU has had their issues versus Florida State, the red zone. So far, Jaden 7 of 7 for 46 yards. Excellent. All right. Throw it to the right to Diggs all day. Just throw it. Good. We'll take that too. Good job. Work backside to Hilton. There we go. Keep freaking cooking. Let's see here. Oh, man. Good. Oh, that was very unlucky. Oh, that was very unlucky. That's a good play call, too. We're running mesh, and our guys just kind of ran into each other. I hope Malik's okay. Damn. Oh, man, we got one-on-ones to the bottom of the screen here to the left side. Let's see here. There you go. Get in there, Logan. Good. Oh, man. Let's see a replay of that. If Jaden would have pulled there, he might have scored. Let's see. Did he get in? I don't think he got in. Now, this should be QB sneak. This should be QB sneak. Hurry up, get to the line, get under center. It should be an automatic QB sneak call. Okay? This should be an automatic QB sneak call. Or did he get in? Oh, God. Get in. He's in. He's in. No. What's the call? What's the call? No. No. On who? Who did he say? Who did he say? I had the volume down. What? What? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Oh, no. All right. We'll see you for the halftime show. I don't know. Please go. If you do anything for me, click the like and set reminder for halftime. That's going to be the link for the halftime show. I've got to get a replay here. Holy crap. I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, God. All right, we'll see you at halftime. And it's Power Hour LSU. Boom. Yeah, I know, Forbes, but you know when you take the over, I mean that's critical. That's critical because if you it's not only that it's a touchdown, that would force Mississippi State's offense to be more aggressive if you don't have to settle for 3. But still, our top super chatter was Rome. Thank you so much. We'll see you at halftime. And we're doing barbecue chicken. Let's go.